Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are exposing themselves to criticism with their activism and engagement in politically charged causes, Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer said. The Sussexes have become more vocal about their views since they left the royal family, raising their concerns about voter suppression ahead of the U.S. midterm elections. Mr. Palmer warned them pushing that liberal agenda could backfire on the couple. Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer told the Royal Roundup, "I think that the problems that she in particular in that interview but also Harry was that they struck the wrong tone. They struck a divided tone that embroiled them in the culture wars and, I don't particularly like this term woke." She said in her podcast this week that she was happy to embrace that term. "I think they did fall into a bit of a trap and they have become hate figures from the conservative side of politics because they are seen as advocates of a more liberal agenda. And I am not sure we can say that's the case of the Prince and Princess of Wales, Queen Consort and Councillors of Essex whilst they do make important campaigning points about things that they would like to see changed in our society." Meghan and Harry exposed themselves to criticism with activism, royal correspondent said. Image, Getty. Richard Palmer warned the Sussexes they exposed themselves with their activism. Image, Facebook, at the Royal Roundup. Since the couple settled back to the United States, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have moved dangerously close to revealing their political views in a potential breach of the British royal protocol. Though they no longer serve as working members of the firm, the Sussexes have pledged to honor the late monarch's royal values, which includes being politically neutral. Members of the royal family have a tradition of keeping their views for themselves to avoid interference in political matters. For instance, the Queen has remained silent on her views over Brexit, with media speculating about hints she dropped in public appearances. A veiled reference to Brexit in a speech in Parliament in 2019 drew the late Queen into a constitutional turmoil. Meghan Markle and Harry also exposed themselves in the run-up to the U.S. midterm elections, campaigning for Americans to vote. With their call, they sparked accusations of breaching British royal political neutrality protocol. Read more. Prince Harry's new memoir to have biblical resonance. Richard Palmer and Pandora Forsyth discussed the Sussexes' activism. Image, Facebook, at the Royal Roundup. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry campaigned against voter suppression in the U.S. ahead of the midterms. Image, Getty. The Sussexes had been spotted actively campaigning against Republican-led voter suppression during the highly polarized midterm elections, suggesting the couple are leaning towards the Democratic Party. Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer had already warned they were moving dangerously closer to breaking the royal value of apoliticism. He said, "I think it's a slightly dangerous game but not as dangerous as it was when Donald Trump was still president. And that was the real problem, that the UK was trying to negotiate a post-Brexit trade deal with the US, which seems as far off as ever now. There was huge consternation at Buckingham Palace because although Meghan has never said which way to vote, she was taking part in a campaign to get people to register to vote and against voter suppression." Don't miss Harry and Meghan's Netflix series to air next month in major blow, report. Meghan Markle mocked too busy with interviews to be like Kate, report. Harry and Meghan's anticipated Netflix series to air next month, report. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have become more vocal about their views since they left the firm. Image, Getty. Trending with her activism, Meghan was subject to speculation around a potential bid to become U.S. president, with Express. Co.uk reporting that Washington-based Democracy Institute found 64% of respondents felt the Democrat Party should opt for a female candidate at the next presidential election in 2 years. Royal expert Kinsey Schofield, discussing the possibility of Meghan Markle to enter politics, said that she doesn't believe the Duchess would get very far after finding herself being rejected by large parts of the U.S. Meghan Markle came first in the list of potential runners, with 27% in the poll of 1,500 likely Democrat voters, Express. Co.uk reported, but the commentator said, Meghan has done an incredible job alienating a large portion of the country by exposing her political allies. The United States is toxic when it comes to politics and communication. Few are invested in the monarchy and all were eager to envelop the Sussexes with open arms. However, the second Meghan started appearing on panels with Stacey Abrams, Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris, she found herself rejected by half of the country. Read next, Kate makes tribute to Ukraine with £279 blue-yellow LK Bennett dress. Meghan Markle helped American families while in UK. Meghan Markle criticized for word policing in podcast series Meghan's fashion choice that Princess Diana would avoid. Pictures. Meghan Markle's fake British accent sparks social media backlash.